You're listening to Thursday Late Night Jazz. I'm Rusty Hassan, and we just heard from The Future is Female. Nevertheless, she persisted. We know that quote, don't we? Roxy Coss with Alex Wintz on guitar and Mickey Yamanaka on piano, Rick Risotto on bass, and Jimmy McBride on drums. And we have Roxy Coss on the line. Roxy, welcome to WPFW.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, you know, you may not remember, but we actually met when you played in D.C. at the D.C. Jazz Festival in the competition, and you gave me this recording, which I've been featuring ever since, getting a chance
Thank
to play
you so
it.
much. Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes, no, it's great, and I love the accusation against Elizabeth Warren that you used as a title.
Yes.
So we'll talk a little about you coming into to play at the Arts Club in a duet with Burnett Thompson. But tell us a little about yourself, how you got into playing the saxophone, and what got you started with this music we call jazz.
Sure. Well, I come from a very musical family, and there was always music in the house. And I actually started playing music on piano when I was about 5 years old, and I, picked up the saxophone as part of the instrumental music program when I was 9. And the first time I ever played the tenor saxophone, I really fell in love. I think I was about 11, and I just thought, oh, this is my voice, this is my instrument. And from there, jazz was a natural extension of that love, and just kind of finding where I could express myself best.
This is when you were growing up in Seattle, Washington, huh?
Yeah.
How'd you make it to New York, where you've been there for some time now?
Well, I was fortunate in Seattle. They have so many great music programs and jazz programs, and I had a lot of great teachers and mentors. And part of that education was with the Garfield High School Jazz Band, and Clarence Acox took us to New York to participate in the essentially Ellington competition and festival. And I did that for 3 years, and so that was my first time visiting New York, and I just knew I had to move there, and and I was able to see professional jazz musicians really making a career in New York, and so I saw myself there and was inspired to kind of follow that path. So I ended up going to school out east and being in New York ever since.
And what was it like? Who were some of the people you hooked up with when you got to the city?
Well, I went to William Patterson, so my first, connection was through Harold Mabern.
Oh, wow, yeah. He was just fabulous. Oh, I really miss him.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I have a photograph of him with my granddaughter after a concert at the Kennedy Center that I will certainly always treasure.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. He was one of the most giving mentors I've ever met, so I was fortunate to, he was what really brought me to that school. He always talked so highly of the program, and it was great to really get to work with him there more extensively, and Clark Terry, who was in residence at the time.
Wow, yes. What more can we say? I mean, with those as mentors, that's really fabulous. So, this past year has been very difficult for all of us in the music. I've seen you streaming at Smalls, but what else have you been doing during this period of time that we've had to kind of lay low or do streams or do whatever?
Yeah, it's been very challenging, and I haven't been playing as much. I haven't been performing as much, and it's hard on the soul. The few times that I have had that opportunity, it just feels, on the one hand, it feels amazing to play music, and it really makes you treasure it more and appreciate it more. And on the other hand, it's strange because you're sort of disconnected from it. You're out of that mode and out of the flow, so to speak. So it's a strange feeling, but I think I and many other musicians are just trying to keep going, and I've had a few, different types of streams with different people, and in the meantime, I've continued the other work that I do, so lots of teaching and working with the Women in Jazz organization, and, just hoping for kind of a time when we can get back into really just making more music.
Absolutely.
Without the performance, there's nothing to work for.
No, and live performance is so important. And I'm glad to see that Spike Wilner has been able to keep things going with all the struggles that he's confronted with Smalls and Mesro, and
absolutely.
So I've seen you on my phone watching the performances that he streams. So you've had the same group for a while now, Mickey Yamanaka and Alex Winston and Rick Rosato and Jimmy McBride for the last couple of albums. Tell us about your quintet that you've been working with.
Sure, yeah. Well, I started the first Roxy Coss Quintet formation back in 2008 and had completely different instrumentation. And I was fortunate, over the years to have a couple different residencies where the band would play regularly, and that really helped me not only develop my music, my composition, my playing, but also the band. And one of those residencies was at the Smoke Jazz Club in New York City. And around that time, I kind of got it in my ear to switch the instrumentation to what it ended up being now with guitar and piano, bass, drums. And that's around the time that I first met Alex Wintz. And so he became a part of the band, and we recorded, at that point, we recorded Restless Idealism, which was my second album with the quintet formation. And then a little bit further on, we had another residency at Club Bonafide, and I just experimented with lots of different people, trying to figure out who worked best together, because it's not just about, finding, quote-unquote, the best players, because in New York, of course, everybody's amazing and incomparable.
Oh, sure.
So we ended up having great chemistry with this group, and I think, Glenn Zaleski was a part of the band for a while, and he became so busy touring with his own thing, and Robbie Coltrane and people like that. And so he was on one of the records, and then Mickey played at Bonafide with us, and it was just fabulous. So we ended up keeping her, and that was that.
Yeah, Mickey has actually been one of the artists that Burnett Thompson has featured at the Arts Club with the piano series, and just incredible performer. How did you and Burnett hook up? How did you meet him?
Well, I think it's the type of thing where you know someone who knows someone, and
sure.
You hear about each other, and so it was inevitable.
So this is going to be a live stream performance on Monday, May 3rd, and it's in duet with Burnett Thompson, and it gets him to play the piano for a change rather than just introduce the pianist. So this is going to be an interesting duet that's going to be live streamed, and tickets are available. And I guess the best way to you can reach Burnett at pianojazz.com, or you can go to the website pianojazz.com for information at the about getting live stream tickets. And it looks like things are opening up, and so at some point it'd be great to start seeing audiences for these performances, and I'm looking forward to seeing this duet that you're going to have with Burnett. I've known him for years, and I just love what he's done with the Arts Club. You're going to like the room. And
I'm looking forward to it.
And it's be good to see you back in Washington again.
Yeah.
What are some of the things have you discussed the repertoire that you're going to play on Monday at all?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to kind of a collaborative process. We're going to play a couple of my original compositions and a couple of his, and probably one or two standards, just for good measure.
Absolutely. No. So again, Roxy Coss at the Piano Jazz at the Arts Club. This is season 7. I'm really grateful for Burnett to keeping this thing going. It's been really important for the music, and the live stream's been working very well because it's been gaining an international audience. These things have been picked up worldwide. So again, pianojazz.com for information on this for Piano Jazz at the Arts Club. So we got your newest album, Quintet, and you had Mr. President as one of your selections to be played. Tell us about what is this composition? Which Mr. President?
Well, I wrote this tune for the former Mr. President, 45, and it was inspired by this idea of, pretending everything is just normal and fine, but underneath just this chaos of division among humanity.
Right,
so.
Right. Fantastic. Well, Roxy, thanks again for calling in, and we'll hear her now with Mickey Yamanaka, Alex Wentz, Rick Rosato, and Jimmy McBride, and Mr. President.